On this day, a young woman entered the courtroom. She was the daughter of a governor. Her steps were confident, her posture unyielding, her eyes filled with entitlement. She carried herself with the certainty of privilege, the arrogance of power, and the belief that her father's position placed her above accountability. The courtroom is a place of truth. It is a place where arrogance is stripped away, where privilege is confronted, where justice is revealed. Yet here stood a young woman who believed justice was negotiable, who believed accountability was optional, who believed her father's title was stronger than the law. From the moment she stood before me, her demeanor spoke louder than her words. She dismissed the seriousness of the charge. She minimized the violation. She carried herself as though the courtroom was beneath her, as though the law was an inconvenience meant for others, not for her. Justice is not complete until accountability is enforced. Words alone cannot restore fairness. Principles alone cannot protect society. Justice requires action, and that action must be equal for all. When the governor's daughter stood before me, her expectation was clear. She believed her father's influence would soften the consequences. She believed privilege would bend the law. She believed power would silence accountability. But justice is not for sale. Justice does not bow to influence. Justice does not bend for privilege. I looked at her, and I saw the arrogance of entitlement. I saw the confidence of someone who had never been told no. I saw the expectation of immunity, the belief that accountability was for others, not for her. And I knew that this moment was not only about her violation, it was about the principle that justice must be equal for all. The courtroom was silent. The audience watched closely. Every eye was fixed on the exchange. Every ear was listening for the verdict. And in that silence, the weight of justice was heavy. I spoke firmly. I reminded her that the law is not negotiable. I reminded her that titles do not protect you. I reminded her that privilege does not excuse you. I reminded her that arrogance does not intimidate me. She shifted uncomfortably. Her confidence began to falter. Her arrogance began to crumble. Her entitlement began to weaken. She realized that her father's power could not shield her. She realized that privilege could not excuse her. She realized that justice was stronger than arrogance. That realization was the true punishment. Not the fine, not the record, not the penalty, but the understanding that influence does not protect you. The understanding that privilege does not excuse you. The understanding that justice is equal for all. I imposed the penalty. The fine was set. The record reflected the violation. And in that moment, the courtroom witnessed the collapse of entitlement. The audience saw the dismantling of arrogance. The citizens saw the triumph of fairness. To the governor's daughter, I said this: your father's position does not protect you. Your privilege does not excuse you. Your arrogance does not intimidate me. In this courtroom, you are not defined by your family's influence. You are defined by your actions, and your actions demand accountability. Justice is not about humiliation. Justice is about truth. Justice is not about cruelty. Justice is about fairness. Justice is not about favoritism. Justice is about equality. The lesson was clear. The message was undeniable. The truth was revealed. Justice is equal for all. Justice does not live in the shadow of power. Justice does not bow to influence. Justice does not surrender to arrogance. Justice is the foundation of society, and it must remain unshaken by corruption, untouched by privilege, and uncorrupted by ego. In this courtroom, the scales of justice are balanced. They do not tip for titles. They do not tip for family connections. They do not tip for arrogance. They weigh actions, and they deliver consequences. That is fairness. That is equality. That is justice. The fine imposed in this case was not just a penalty. It was a symbol that political power cannot buy immunity, a symbol that privilege cannot silence accountability, a symbol that justice is equal for all. But the true lesson was not in the fine. It was in the reflection. Reflection is where humility is born. Reflection is where accountability becomes wisdom. Reflection is where justice transforms from punishment into growth. To the governor's daughter, I said this: your father's position does not protect you. Your privilege does not excuse you. Your arrogance does not intimidate me. In this courtroom, you are not defined by your family's influence. You are defined by your actions, and your actions demand accountability. To the citizens listening, I say this: do not be deceived by power. Do not be discouraged by privilege. Do not be silenced by arrogance. Justice is on your side. Justice is your right. Justice is your protection. And to society as a whole, I say this: justice is not about humiliation. It is about truth. Justice is not about cruelty. It is about fairness. Justice is not about favoritism. It is about equality. And justice is not about the past. It is about the present. Today, the present demanded accountability. Today, the present demanded humility. Today, the present demanded justice. And justice was served.